Lootrix, the full 2021 review. So first off, literally, there's two worlds. There's a world where this, and that, which is really cringy, called Cringe. And then there's my world, the real organic world, and Chris reversed to it as, the smart guy world, when we used to watch, things like Smart Guy, Tarzan versus, Stanley, back when I was going into elementary school at Cabrillo High. Now, first off, I need to state, in this video, that the original year, 2020, was the year that was severely, not just cringy, but defining of our generation, because I know what extensively happened for my brother's generation, with the sketches of Real Slim Shady versus, my generation, not caring and not competing on the same level, but still having, a same amount of, common ground and common sense. Meaning that my best friend Walter Art, can obviously get a job as a mailman, but he'll never, go out of his way to be with the art like a stupid like Chris, and he'll never have, the style, best friends like Country. So where am I getting at in this video? Okay, first off, my child took off in 2021 when I made this video called Justin the Fallen. And there was a running gag that, on the inside I was a grown man because everybody told the full story. On the outside, I'm just a little kid, watching cartoons. To the point where, if life put me in a corner, I would have to advertise the YouTube channel in order to get money for my kids. So 2020 came along, and I have to say, the difference between this year and 2021 was 2020 was just me telling stories like, Jaylene the Terror, Justin, Matt, and Elliot, etc. And there's two versions of, Justin, Matt, and Elliot. There's the original version with Chaz surrender before Chaz died. That's private on my channel because of copyrighted material. And there's the other version, where I, was syndicated as the Great Saiyan Man because I couldn't upload the original version due to copyright. Anyway, this year, 2020, was really bad because it made you understand on a level. Literally, I was playing a video game as Shinobi Striker, and gang members, were doing this thing where if we do so many movies, we can make an echo, so we can make the cartoon talk to you because we can't face you up front, and we can be like, oh, Mamacita's the best at cutting. Literally, she's really pro. Literally, and they do all this shit to the point where it's the best year of your life. And literally, they had me dodge a bullet every day to put right play Fire Z. I finally got opening in June. This is really crazy because this year is about to pop off. And what happened, the original year was I was just telling stories like, I was in the bathroom literally where I told, somebody said big dick. Literally just appealing to the Filipino community, just being a Timothy De La Gala with no emphasis, appealing to cringe. So what happened? Literally, what happened, me just telling stories, on top of cringe, on top of, just having gameplay, on top of being a full video gamer, there's a certain amount of things that I learned that year when I became, regional games like Fire Z, where I actually learned how to play fire games correctly. 2021 it went from me, just telling stories in order to get views, going by cringe, acknowledging that you're the viewer, that actually telling stories that holds weight, like the story of my grandmother Genkai. And telling the story about my uncle Sonny, how he was a troublesome child, and the stories when the details like Big Mo's house. You see how he separated the right rap from the right crap, Steezo? And the worst thing, I got into this thing called lore, where it's called, properly representing, Japanese anime, making sure that you have the original references from the manga before speaking, so you can get along with our nerds. And that went with, along with the cringe thing, the Uli Booty Dude was what I call it. Literally, what ended up happening was, the world before, the world and since this is not what you can't absorb, called Cringe World, literally put me through a lot of phases. Literally, this is how the Cringe World works. You do something, undeniably, phenomenal, like you get to, grab over 300 girls at a convention, literally, and then you still have to deal with a rap league saying life goes on, saying, you still don't have a job, you still have, a car at 23, literally, and they hit you with consistency, and they fuck you up with consistency every day, and you happen to, log, turn plan in order to work at E40, knowing that you work in the Bay Area, knowing that you work in California, and everything turns out, fine in the end if they didn't pull this sequence. Okay, so let me explain. Literally, the world did become daycare because of my channel, but I have to say that's a false accusation because I got no paperwork. I did have a girl, call for me, in person in real life, but that's just, NASA buttering me up. So 2021 was when I became, the first victim of domestic violence, literally. So it started off, with the face down, It's 2021. Literally, I was, a cool victim for a year. Everybody knew my YouTube channel. Literally, my mom went a couple of dates with guys, who were fans of my YouTube channel. And here it goes, the face off. My mom tried to see me in the old world, my world, literally, where I pulled April. And then she got into it with Chi-Chi and Asagiri again. What made this year phenomenal is that there was, off tops and running gag, so it started off, my mom trying to do something extreme on top of, me having nothing to prove, due to having all those scores and conviction, have all those baby mamas, really knowing what facial expression is, and she tried to fool me where a gang, well, I know what the gang is. A gang is get the pussy. You can pull literally this, that, oh, we have guns, oh, we have this and that, and you can say it doesn't matter because you don't get the girl, forever, you can always, do that. And what ends up happening is I wasn't scared to snipe from the roof because I knew we couldn't aim, and what ended up happening is the face-off star, with somebody who would definitely use telekinesis versus somebody who was definitely Chi-Chi, and that's how the face down started. It was a horrible clobber in Chi-Chi because he tried to say, hey, what's going on? And the first thing I say was, wow, that poker face lasted long, literally. And this is like, damn, fuck you, Eris, literally. And then what ended up happening, was, that gang that I was talking about that does the move where his hands that literally tries to set you up, in the future and makes you never have a future. Literally, what ended up happening was he tried to do it again, so he tried to test me again the next morning, and I ended up breaking my arm and my elbow were all the way behind my head, literally. And then he said, oh, I can't ignore that, literally. He's supposed to have autism, he's supposed to have, Asperger's and schizophrenia. There's no freaking way that I can say that's not amazing. So I broke my arm behind my head and top of saying poker face, so it was literally Asagiri again versus Chi-Chi. And it was the end of, Anime. For my manga, from Akira Toriyama dying, for everything, literally, it was the end of anime, because two people had to use game, in a world full of shit tarts, and it was the point that literally one was willing to be a pimp and the other one was willing to say something extreme in order to trap him in mental health, and that's why it didn't work, because the whole time mental health did, accept the six-pack. And what ended up happening is he got a clear victory. Yeah, that did get her butchered, that did, had butcher on top of, a real person calling about the yelling. And what ended up happening was literally that was, something that was marked in history. Now I let go of my pimp a long time ago, but this is when this year gets phenomenal. So we had, my world, the first bankroll fight, literally. Then we get on to literally the anime community, how they try to test me when I was Jaden, literally, where kids are playing sports and on the dance floor, literally, the same Joy Boy community that caught me off guard, saying things like Eminem, literally, when I was obviously, off guard making videos for the world. I had to submit, literally, so they saw me outside dancing on top of having all these subs on top of, making my manga. So while my mom was trying to fight me and infuriate me, here is when we get the Valentine's Day special. Because what ended up happening is he tried to ignore me every single day, literally trying to, say don't get comfortable while I'm listening to Comfortable like Lil Wayne, literally. And then right when I was making, a screenshot of video, though, literally, is when she starts talking to me, trying to, get me mad, literally. Then video starts talking about his mother in the manga while I'm drawing him. All while I'm fighting a gang, all while I'm belittling a gang, literally, I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna dodge these bullets and then I'm gonna work to the next page. I'm just gonna get to your argument, I'm gonna work on the next page. Literally, and my whole goal this year was the top of the Heroes Rising. Now, what I tried to tell this, company recently, after Uncle Tommy already validated, when he was alive, in Funimation, right now they're using him as a puppet, no pun intended. Is that I don't care about Nokia at 29 anymore. I don't care, I let this shit go, because when you let things drag on, that means you don't care. That's an obvious sign of dang, and that's why they hate me. And at the end of the day, when they used to be monumental figures, when baseline used to mean for something, literally, how two people interact, or how somebody tried to, enclose a statement, and one needs another to survive in society. Now they just became, imitations of Heroes Rising. Every Nas movie is just an imitation of Heroes Rising. That's why we're hurry up and just watch them on DVD, literally. And they try to pull this whole shit where lesbian come, oh, I don't want you watching one movie, literally, and get away with the best year of your life again. So then it happened, but the biggest thing about this year is that this year's a trick, because what happens is that, I adapted to Ooey Booty Doo and become one of the best in the anime community due to knowing literally how my god guys live personally, by knowing that they're human and that they have a soul and that they got owned at a dance floor like everyone else. We've all lived, we're all human. So what ends up happening, basically is, throughout the entire 2021, it's a running gag, you try fooling with the shirt and ski, the voice of this guy that your abusive girlfriend set you up with, and guess what ends up happening? I end up winning every single time because I sacrificed, I was trained to do an ugly thing in a group home. This is what happens when you get to a group home. You do an ugly thing, you pick an imaginary friend like me, I chose Mandy, literally, and then it leads you to success because people don't know the inside because they're only focused on the outside story. And then literally, you hide behind somebody like Snoop Dogg, like me, I hear about hiding Snoop Dogg, and then it created my career. And then what ended up, happening was when they double and pie, when I kept on sacrificing but the ugly thing, which I knew to sacrifice for ugly thing in the beginning, is I kept on receiving rewards, because what happened when the air rode, where I kept on going hard. So let's get into a second. Let's back up for a second. What happened between me and Armand with the Tyrant video? So what ended up happening is, while I was working on the Valentine's Day special, he was already thinking, plotting, and scheming. Well, I'm already thinking about the next girl who I'm bringing to a dance. And what ends up happening, is, he ends up masturbating to that girl, and that gave a life lesson, because I was working every single day, working out, drinking water, and riding in the swings. When they hit me with a car, I was already ready, because I've been training my legs every single day. I'm like, I'm just gonna wait for you to get close, because you did your strategy. It's not strategy when you're going up against somebody who's physically stronger, literally, and then I knocked them all out in a 3-man formation, just like Zaf. That was after, I posted a full, Valentine's discussion on YouTube. And what's great about this event, there's two parts. There's one in the beginning when he jumped me with a car after I uploaded them in 3 separate parts, and then there's another time literally where I uploaded the full one after I had the accident with Scars. And then I knew how to hit up Alberto. I'm like, this is a gold story, literally. This is the best of a grown man. This is strategy. That was the whole problem, like me being a grown man, me, being a retired pimp. What ended up happening was literally, because we kept on doubling power with grown men. That's why 2 people use the highest of anime strategy when they forget the anime is for kids. But your abuser is for kids, and that's why literally I have to convince you when I applied your sword cards to call you Billy, you still got around with the same formula. And then I became the best of formula this year. So after, I upload I'm under the Tyrant, video, I hear of Alberto. No, Alberto watched it in the sky. He was there the whole time. Literally, how did Alberto know about it? Was it through the after image? Was it, through allowing a whole bunch of breaks lately where I could see it as soon as I get done watching a video? Was it through smoking a blunt? Was the doobie his? The doobie could be somebody else or some other Bay Area rappers. Literally, was it him? Literally, fucking the image of him in the sky, then knocking me out, and then literally making me do another video? And then everybody, including Platinum, saw the Armando the Tyrant video. It was the most viral thing on YouTube. So 2 things happened at the beginning of the year. The Valentine's Day special, of course, Lily and Armando the Tyrant, which is why 2021 is one of the best years of all time. And then the hit character, Yume came out. And Yume is based off Yumi from Kolyoko. Now, what you don't know about that is that Yumi used to be my imaginary friend that used to train me, literally, as a dance partner, literally, before I got all the numbers at Level Up Expo, all the way to the point where I knew students from the Gorillas. If you asking me literally, if I don't come for Gorillas, you're asking a stupid question. And that went hand in hand with the fucking year's lesson, because literally people like Rihanna, who used to go out with Isaiah in the past, literally were all over the Valentine's discussion. Oh, everybody's gonna love Zaf. Oh, everybody's gonna love, Jume, literally. Why I kept characters like, Zofia and Gabaya hidden. So the year went on. My mom thought she lost inevitably, literally cried herself, because she knows how the scoreboard works, and that's why, I'm contemplating my position right now because of her mentality and how I called her a professional and, expression. What ends up happening, literally, is here's me, voicing 2 characters from Fortress of the Gothic Vampires, which be Chinanet, which is Chinata, parody of Hinata in the net, where I, N-I-N, the net, literally, Gabaya's Bomb and Nons, literally how they fought in Fortress of the Gothic Vampires, was the biggest point I make in my channel. One person doing 2 things to outweigh somebody doing 8 things to do, the biggest stylist style, literally, where he's obviously in control, like how, the walk went. And, those were 2 things, literally, and that was a part of my Bob strategy. That's how strong my godfather is, and what ended up happening was she accepted it. She thought it was beautiful. She thought she was listening, people were pricing. That was a theme the whole year. But somebody, who grew up with a smartphone, who adapted to the times that surround, strictly, technology is for kids, literally, he seemed to bring back to R&B, and then literally, once the family forgave me, the year cruise started to kick in. But the whole moral of this year is that because I sacrificed the ugly thing, big revelations started happening because I was a grown man and I didn't, tolerate anything. Because when I got in the air road car, after, I fucked people up, literally, they're reversing in the car, literally, how I wanted to find the freeway. Literally, Riz, can you fuck these niggas when we're watching Aroni Kicks? And I have it on my channel. Go watch the streaming videos playlist on my channel, and that's all in 2021. And if you watch that, playlist through and through, literally, that means I achieved all my goals in 1 year. And what ends up happening was, I got in the car, and how we have that slang like cousin shit, like, oh, this nigga about to float, he's about to pull a short out. I ended up being the best at shit because I did the ugly thing in the game, and I kept on doing the ugly thing and try to beat the air roll, because the air roll works like this. Literally, they make obstacle references so you don't animate or ugly like Hunter x Hunter. So here's how it goes. Literally, the 2021 was so good that I started using characters like Videl, because I recognized Videl's purple. Remember, the ugly thing, and I became a fighter, and I did martial arts, all the way to the point where I was watching anime like, Ayano and Baka and Test, to the point where it came down to literally, if it came down to 2 characters from Hunter x Hunter, I would pick Shu because she was still purple, and literally Kula Loosh, you know, somebody like Kula Loosh would probably, you know, pick Knuckle. And what would end up happening is, you know, Cool would end up, you know, admitting to this shit, like, yo, you probably changed your flow, you did some crazy ass shit, literally. That's because I chose the main character. That's how real that year was. That year got even crazier with Uncle David at Newport Beach, how literally somebody tried to sneak something in on Samurai Jack against, you know, Olivia's husband Ray, and find that he goes up and down with his fingers. Literally, the year was that funny, by the way. And then literally Uncle David, you know, inserted that it was the best year of my life, but gave me the briefcase by Joey Reeler. It wasn't that, it was a gambling briefcase, but you know, whatever. And then it came, the non-subscriptions, literally. When this happened, you know, I ended up, you know, flipping because, you know, it went from me, you know, Double Empire as a grown man to me having the highest for a little kid, all the way to the point, and you know, the craziest part about this, when Stone came out this year, it was awful, literally. He fucked himself up so bad, literally. I told him, literally, to look at me in the face with his webcam when he was talking shit, and he couldn't do it. All I saw was a whole bunch of black because he stabbed himself in the head, literally. And then it came on to him trying to hit my girl Layla, you know, later on, you know, that year. And what ends up happening is I end up, you know, doing speeches like, Stone, I'm gonna whoop your motherfucking ass. Literally, I just whooped your motherfucking ass. Literally, yelling at 3 o'clock in the morning, not getting called by police. I'm like, I have to get victim of domestic violence because, literally, I'm doing all this yelling, literally, late night, which was literally, my former criticism all throughout my teens, literally, and no one's calling, literally, for a whole time, and then the only time someone does call, it's Zagor, you know, defending me with my Angelica shirt. The year was so intense, it was so, you know, based off lore, that literally you heard it in the sky. Credit anime fans about how much you cried. You are Cyrus and he is Jaden. It got so worse. You think that, you know, the beginning of Roberto was bad? Wait till we get to Riverland. And then is, you know, we went from a Valentine's Day special to the best year of all time in America because I kept on making descriptions for nons. Literally, I kept on, you know, making movies, you know, Curse of the Elven Statue and Fortunes of the Gothic Vampires. And the best thing to know about this year is that I was talking about those 2 movies while I was working on the Valentine's Day special. The year was so good that got all the way to a fat Jume. And then it happened, literally. And then at the end, there was Alma Dirta, literally calling on the phone, confirming the All Might character, which I knew was good. Which meant I knew that I made a new version of Naruto, which was Yumi Neji. And then it got even worse, literally, when they made the show Zack Stone, which I knew was a Mandela effect, literally, which is me, the voice actor, you know, the guy in my comic book, and obviously Stone. So it was 3, you know, revelations. It was a Valentine's Day special, it was a mod, and then it was me making Stone go up and down. But literally, he literally still tried to say, literally, air position, yo, this nigga's obsessed with me, literally, and that's the thing, you can't get over me, literally. When I have a physical advantage over somebody, and they're able to make an excuse like that a lot, and they're never able to own up to it, when I specifically asked for him to physically back it up to his webcam, it's hilarious. And then once I gained the family's respect, literally it all ended at, you know, Brick House Bandit and Uncle Tommy. Everything was fucking confirmed, and then they confirmed the death of Mary J. Blige, literally, and then as soon as I got the Alpha Omega, the group home, literally, I saw her literally, and see it that she was dead on stage, but she let me know, yo, if it's the news and this is the police, this is where we're taking it. So I'm gonna follow this up for a 2022 review, you know, right after this video, but I have to cut it short because this is the reality. The reason why I chose Dedra in this photo is because even though it was a year full of soul, there's some shit that I can't say, you know, on this channel because it will reveal, you know, NASA's involvement. But just know, literally, it's the same Crimson Order. This is when they took it. That is why, you know, Dedra is here. Okay, so anyway, this is Mootrix, and this is a full 2021 review.